What's your role here at the LACMA Jazz? What do they call it?
Jazz at LACMA.
What's your role?
So I curate, so I get to hire all these wonderful musicians, put it all together. We also do a broadcast on K-Jazz on Sunday nights, so I also do some interviews with the musicians as well. So we cut those together and we kind of rebroadcast those on Sunday night after the concert.
When would people hear that?
Sundays at 7. So
On 88.1?
88.1 K-Jazz.
And do they come out and record at the shows?
But we actually do all the recording and production here, and we ship it off to K-Jazz. So we do the interviews downstairs, and then we cut it together on the breaks.
What's your approach toward programming for the public? I mean, it really is kind of like municipal, public, open.
It is. I mean, it's a free concert series. It's one of the longest running free concert series exclusively for jazz in the country. The main focus really when I took it over is refocusing the series on LA. I will argue vehemently that the greatest musicians in the world are from LA. So the concert series is only LA musicians. And in the past it would be a mix, people touring and LA people and kind of a hodgepodge, and now it's exclusively LA musicians.
What's characteristic about LA Jazz?
Good question. I don't know that there's any good character. What's so amazing is the breadth of the jazz community across all genres, all multiple disciplines, the best of the best. You got, Herbie Hancock, you got Wayne Shorter, you got George Duke, you got Les McCann, you got Bobby Bradford. I mean, they are all LA natives.
Would you speak about Bobby Bradford, who he is and why is he here this week or this year?
Yeah, well, Bobby's kind of a regular as much as I do regulars. He's been here quite a bit over the years. I'm a Bobby special. He's one of those living legends where he is walking jazz history. I mean, he has lived these huge changes in jazz. He was here in the 60s when the avant-garde became not really fashionable, but started really, and actually was unfashionable. People were starting to break down the barriers of traditional structure and exploring alternative ways of performing jazz. Ornette Coleman, Eric Dolphy were some of his partners, and he was right in the thick of it. And people would say, what is this stuff? And didn't give him too much props and all that stuff, but obviously over time it's not a big deal now. Free jazz, hey, no big deal. Back then, it was a big deal.
How do you see this event in the scope of LA public life, cultural life?
Well, if you look around, you see the best of LA. You got every demographic is right here. Old, young, black, white, green, yellow, purple. Everybody's here, having a great time. It is a perfect setting. Music is the vehicle. The real goal is actually community. And that's why we have so many free concerts at the museum. There's a free jazz series, there's a free Latin series, there's a free classical series. There's one paid concert series, but 3 out of the 4 are free because it's about community engagement.
Do you feel a sense of responsibility to the community to enlighten them and educate them to?
I don't know, but I think you present it and then those elements come by default. So Bobby Bradford, nobody knows who Bobby Bradford is, outside of very few serious jazz aficionados. But tonight, 2,000 people are going to walk away knowing, hey, that guy Bobby Bradford is kind of cool, different, interesting.
Right.
And maybe they didn't like all of it, which is fine too.
Does your band play here?
We're way too big.
Too big.
We need a large concert hall.
What part does this event play in people's lives, both the musicians and the community?
Well, for the musicians, they get to play before 2,000 people on a Saturday or on a Friday night in the summer. You can play a club date and reach 20, maybe 200 if you're there. So they are having such a wide. So conversely, they can sell a lot of CDs and they get to get exposure. K-Jazz is a wonderful partner, so they get their name out there. So it's really strengthening the LA jazz community. So maybe, Bobby Bradford. So when he is at a club, people will go and hear him there. So again, it's not just us, but it's really building the entire jazz community.
And there are also concerts on Saturday nights. Are you involved with that?
Saturday, yep. I do Latin Sounds, and that's Saturday from 5 to 7, and we do that in the park area. So I like to call it our mini Tanglewood, because it's a big lawn. People come and picnic and chill and hang out, and usually there's a lot of dancers. So it's really exciting Latin music. It kind of runs the gamut from Cuban to Mexican to Afro-Peruvian to Puerto Rican to Panamanian. So we cover a lot of ground in that concert series.